2 years ago, almost to the day, I reviewed this power bank. This is from NiteCore. This is the NiteCore NB10000. When it hit the market, it was one of the lightest, if not the lightest weight and smallest battery bank for this size. After 2 years, NiteCore has introduced a new version of this, a Generation 2. The company speaks of this new version as having huge, big changes, but the thing is, that's not really true. That doesn't mean that the changes aren't welcome, that they're not good, but for all intents and purposes, this is the same product. The first generation version is excellent. The second generation is even better. Slightly. In this episode, I'm going over my review of the Generation 2 model, and I'm going to share my thoughts and experiences concerning the Generation 1 model, since I've used this so extensively. So folks, let's go ahead and get started. I'll tell you what, folks, let's go ahead and do an unboxing here so we can compare these products side by side. So if you purchase this product, this is what you will receive. You get the box, you receive the power bank, instruction manual, warranty card, and you receive one USB-A to USB-C charging cable. That's it. Take a look here. We have both of the battery banks side by side and now on top of each other. As you can see here, they are exactly the same size. They are exactly the same weight. They feature the same ports. They both have a button. I'll explain what that does here in a second. There's a slight variation there. Both of these feature power indicators, but there's a difference. With the old version, the power level indicator was inside of this button. It was very, very difficult to see it. With the new version, the power button and the indicators are separate. That's a good change. Also, when it comes to the ports, you have a USB-C, USB-A. These ports now have a yellow ring around them, which makes it easier to find these ports. What made the old version so lightweight, so thin, is the same technology that's used here. We have a carbon fiber frame with carbon fiber sheets. You have virtually the same internals, and this translates to a product that is virtually identical. With that being the case, let's go over some stats and let's talk about the differences here. The old version was $60, so the new version, $60. Again, they have the same frame, same materials, same capacity, 10,000 milliamp hour. Both generations are IPX5 rated for water resistance, and they both come with the same safeguards: short circuit, overcharge, over discharge, and overheat. Both feature the exact same ports, USB-C, USB-A. Now, things have changed a little bit, with the new version of this being able to output just slightly more power. The USB-A port supports up to 18 watts out. The USB-C supports up to 20 watts out, and will charge at 18 watts. Talking about what this button does, this is so that you can activate a low charge mode, or I should say a low current mode, and that's dedicated for like Bluetooth devices that require low levels of power, such as headphones, smartwatches, and so on. If you want to activate that, you simply push and hold the button, and an indicator light will come on. Now, speaking of these indicators, you have 4 lights. 3 of those are used to dictate the level of energy remaining inside of the power bank. The 4th light is to indicate whether or not you're in that low current mode. The power indicators are blue. That low current mode, it's a white LED. Speaking of the LEDs, if this is fully charged, all 3 blue lights will be visible. 2 stars is 70%. 1 star is 30%. If the indicators are flashing, that means that the power is depleted. With both of these power banks, you could charge it and use it at the same time. So you can charge and discharge. You could discharge from both ports at the same time if you like. As I mentioned before, the weight of these is exactly the same, 5.3 ounces. As far as the dimensions go, 4.8 inches long, 2.3 inches wide, and 0.4 inches thick. That is very, very impressive for a 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank. Both of these packs accept Quick Charge 3.0 technology. There is a 2,000 milliamp hour version of this. It costs $100. I would like to check that out in the future, and maybe I will. Before going any further in this episode, do me a favor, folks. Hit the thumbs up. That really does help the channel. I appreciate you, folks. Thank you very much. As I mentioned before, I've been testing out the Generation 1 model for about 2 years. I've been testing out the Generation 2 for about 3 weeks. And again, for the most part, these are the exact same product. I cannot tell a difference between the two in real world use. I have to say, I do like this new version better. The improvements they've done here are good, but they're not groundbreaking. Being able to see the power indicator is a great thing. Having the slightly higher output, that's a good thing. Now, I should mention this, when it comes to charging these, you're looking at about 3.5 hours with a good charger, so that's not too bad. Now, of course, that will depend on your power input to the device. The Generation 1 model was my go-to power bank for many years. Now it's the Generation 2. Both of these work incredibly well. They're extremely reliable. In fact, I've never had an issue with this one here. And I tell you what, everyone, we might as well start with the pros here because I'm actually talking about those right now. So with the NB10000 Generation 2, this is extremely lightweight. It's very thin. You're not going to notice this inside of your pocket. You're not going to notice this inside of your backpack. It is one of the lightest out there, and it's very impressive. The carbon fiber makes a massive difference. You wouldn't think that it would, but it does. Look at how thin that is. 5.3 ounces. It's impressive. The quality of this is excellent. I've had no issues as far as glitches go or anything like that. And that applies for the Generation 1 model as well. This is impressively water resistant. I've had it out in the rain, out in the mist, out in the mud actually. And again, I've had no issues. As far as the appearance goes, this is a very nice looking product. The carbon fiber is slick. The overall design of this is slick. Not only does it look good, it feels good as well. When it comes to the ports, I like the yellow rings that they've put around them. This does help with finding these ports in the dark. Overall, it's a quick charging device. Next up, being able to use both ports at the same time is a nice touch. I can charge my phone, I can run some LED lights. It works well. The 10,000 milliamp hours is a good capacity. This will charge my phone roughly 2 times and have some juice left over. For myself, I find this to be perfect for an overnight trip. I can charge my phone, I can run some lights. For those purposes, it really works well. And lastly, everyone, this should be just as reliable as the first generation models. So far, so good. And that takes us over to the cons. Now, luckily, I really don't have any. This is an excellent product. I really do like it. I love the first generation. This is even better. I guess like the only con that I have is that there hasn't been any sort of crazy advancement, right? The changes here are what I call TikTok updates. There's some minor changes, they're good changes, but they're not as big and revolutionary as the company states. In the end, I can easily recommend this product because it's a great product. It is my go-to when it comes to power banks. In fact, I'm going to continue to use both of these. These are so lightweight, so small. I can take both with me out on trips when I need to, and it adds virtually no weight to my backpacking system. All in all, this is a great product, and the small changes that have been made, they're welcomed. Wolfpack, it's now time for you to sound off. What do you think about the NB10000 Generation 2 Power Bank from NiteCore? Do you think these are good additions, good changes? Do you think the company should have done more? Comment down below, share your thoughts. I'm interested to hear your perspective on this. For this episode, I'm done. Hit the like button before you go. It does help the channel. If you want to support a channel that's agenda-free, a channel that's not selling products, you can do so. This channel is about information and nothing else. And if you want to support a channel like that, Patreon, YouTube, you can join the Wolfpack. Everyone, be good, be safe. I'll talk to you again soon. Strength and honor.